everyone, it's Cathy Zielske here for Simon Says Stamp, and welcome back to another installment of Easy with me, CZ. Today I'm going to create a really simple slimline card that just features repeated stamped and die cut shapes. I love how this rainbow design came together, so let's jump in and take a look at the products I'm using today. For today's card, I'm using the Beachy Keen stamp set and the umbrella along with a little rainbow of Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated inks. I've got the coordinating dies and a stack of Neenah Solar White Classic Crest in the 110 pound. We're going to start out with some simple stamping. So make sure your stamp is adhered nicely to the door of your MISTI. Take that cardstock, reposition it, make sure it's pressed right into the corner, and start with your first ink. My first ink is Carnation. I'm going to ink up the stamp really well and make sure again that that's right in the corner, and bring in my pressure tool and transfer the ink. Then, because the MISTI lets me do it, I'm going to stamp it again in the exact same place, which I love to get that perfect impression that I'm looking for. Again, transfer the ink, and that looks great. I'll clean off the stamp, leave it in place on the MISTI door, and just flip my cardstock around to stamp the next umbrella. The next color is Peachy, and I'll bring that down. Again, repeat the process. And I have all the colors listed below in the YouTube description box. We'll get that inked up a second time, and again, this is why I love this tool, because you get to stamp in the same place and get that perfect impression. I'll go ahead and repeat for all the remaining colors in the rainbow. Here I have all of the stamped images and the coordinating die, and I'll go ahead and cut them out one by one. This is really easy to frame out. I'll tape it into place and run it through my Platinum 6 die cut machine. And then I will repeat for all of the umbrella halves. To score a slimline, this is a piece of 7" by 8.5" cardstock. I'll score it right at 3.5 on my score pal. Stop short, right, because I can't go all the way through because it's not tall enough. You just flip it and continue the score line on the other side. Then you'll just fold away from that line, give it a good press, and you've got your side folding slimline card ready to go. I tape mine shut because it's such a heavy cardstock and I need this all to remain really flat while I'm adhering my umbrellas. And I'm going to use the Simon Says Stamp dot runner, add some tape to the back of the first umbrella, and bring in my T-square ruler just to make sure that first umbrella is placed perfectly straight on the panel. And once that's in place, it's just a matter of adhering all of the remaining umbrellas. But what's so great about this is I realized I could use the umbrella's design itself to really quickly line everything up and then also have them spaced perfectly. Again, just keep bringing in my ruler to make sure that they're there, but I thought this was so easy for quick placement. Getting them all there, and when I got to the bottom I realized, yes, I do have room for a greeting. So I picked a couple greetings. I wasn't sure if I wanted Beachy Keen or Sending a Bit of Sunshine. So when in doubt, just stamp extras. You can always use the one you don't use on another project. Here I'm just using my anti-static powder to prep the surface, and I will ink up with Versamark embossing ink. Go ahead and stamp those down, transfer that ink, and I'll grab my favorite gold powder. This is ultra fine antique powder from Simon Says Stamp. It has a wonderful warm cast when it's melted. Add that powder and then just tap off the excess. I'll give it one more coating, let that sit, and again just tap off the excess. I just do this over a folded piece of paper because I find it really quick and easy to just take that folded piece and funnel it right back into the jar. I'm going to use one of my angled shader brushes just to clean up any areas where there's powder that I don't want it. because I got a little in there. I'm not sure how or why, but this little brush, because the bristles don't flay out, it's a very firm brush, you can really get in close and get it all cleaned away before you melt your powder, which is what I'm doing now. Working my way across each greeting and watching that powder melt and turn into this beautiful, warm, golden tone. I love this powder. And there we go. Beachy Keen or Sending a Little Bit of Sunshine. I cut them both out with the coordinating dies, and I looked at Sending a Little Bit of Sunshine, which would have been great, but I just thought Beachy Keen was more fun. It's a little bigger, it worked really well, and I thought You Are Just would be a great top greeting, so I stamped and embossed that in the same gold, and then cut it out with the sentiment label dies, then just trimmed side to side to create this perfect little centered top greeting to go above Beachy Keen. I added some dimensional foam to the Beachy Keen, a little thin foam adhesive and just a regular piece of foam tape so that would sit evenly on that umbrella. Take the backers off. I'm going to add a little liquid glue just to give me that wiggle room because foam adhesive really does stick where you put it. And then I could pop it down and just make sure that it was in place and straight. Brought my ruler back in here and just adjusted. Then I'll take the little tiny sub greeting, which is actually, I guess, a super greeting, right, because it's over the top. I have a piece of foam tape there as well. That's just a foam strip. And I'll pop that right in like it was meant to be. And it was, because I designed it that way. Oh, and that is the finished card project. I think this is so fun to take one image, right, create a rainbow and repeat it and check it out. I have the perfect envelope from Simon to pop this card in. I love to take the center colors of a rainbow for my matching envelope, pop that in, and you have the most fun little slimline design to send to anyone to remind them they're just Beachy Keen. Thanks so much for watching today. Again, you can find links to all of the products I used in today's video below in the YouTube description box. We'd love to have you become a subscriber to the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel, and I'll see you back here next month with another installment of Easy with me, CZ.